This is Denise Rusley for Read Me, Speak Me, number 182. This week we're reading a segment of The Hunted by Sean McGillis at SMCGILLIS 248. The sky was beginning to darken, and winds began whipping around the lodge. Where were the light switches? Did they use frickin' candles for lighting? Banner thought he heard something howling outside. Whether it was an animal or the wind, he wasn't certain. The only thing he was sure of was that he was beginning to get a case of the willies, something that hadn't happened since he was a small child. He decided to head for the kitchen while he could still see. Once there, he began rummaging through the cupboards. As promised, there was plenty of liquor. He spied a fine bottle of scotch, grabbed it, and found a glass. He opened the freezer and to his great pleasure saw an ice tray as well. Glass mostly full of liquor, he added an ice cube for good measure. The sun had set, and here twilight was a cruel, humorless joke. Carefully, he navigated from the kitchen to his room. Sitting on the bed, sipping his drink, he felt his tension melt away. This truly was a fitting nightcap for a spectacularly strange day, unlike any he had lived before. Scotch gone, he looked at his Cartier, barely past 8, but it was pitch black and he was alone in the sticks. Time for bed. He'd be up bright and early to introduce himself to whoever was in charge of this sad excuse for a lodge. Maybe get a reduced rate or outright refund in exchange for a lukewarm review. It was frigid in the lodge, bitterly so. Although the bed did have blankets, they were rather thin. The wolfskin on the wall looked substantial and warm. In Banner's world, there was no such thing as magic. It was bullshit, illogical, and therefore it didn't exist. Old lore and legends filled him with scorn. Removing it from the wall required no second thought. He fell asleep with the coarse fur pulled up to his chin.